Good morning, Little Masters, and welcome to today's Tolkien Times. I'm the Man of the West, also from the Prancing Pony podcast. It's been such a privilege reading our way through Tolkien's rich poetry in the Lay of Leithian. This is actually our 14th week in a row in this work, and we still have a wonderfully long way to go. Now, last week we wrapped up Canto 6 as Luthien managed a hair-raising escape from that custom-built luxury treehouse prison cell. Today we go back in time as we start Canto 7. We learn about Morgoth, Fëanor, the Silmarils, the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad oath of Fëanor and his sons, all the way through the age to the time when Beron's father, Barahir, earned the devotion of one Finrod Felagund. When Morgoth in that day of doom had slain the trees and filled with gloom the shining land of Valinor, there Fëanor and his sons then swore the mighty oath upon the hill of tower-crowned Tuna that still wrought wars and sorrow in the world. From darkling seas the fogs unfurled their blinding shadows, gray and cold, where Laurelin had bloomed with gold, until Perion spread its silver flowers. The mists were mantled round the towers of the elves' white city by the sea. There countless torches fitfully did start and twinkle on the stair that led to the wide echoing square. There Fëanor mourned his jewels divine, the Silmarils he made. Like wine his wild and potent words them fill. A great host hearkens deathly still. But all he said, both wild and wise, half truth and half the fruit of lies that Morgoth sowed in Valinor, in other songs and other lore recorded is. He bade them flee from lands divine, to cross the sea, the pathless plains, the perilous shores where ice-infested water roars, to follow Morgoth to the unlit earth, leaving their dwellings in olden mirth, to go back to the outer lands, to wars and weeping. There their hands they joined in vows, those kinsmen seven, swearing beneath the stars of heaven, by Varda the holy that them wrought, and bore them each with radiance fraught, and set them in the deeps to flame. Taniquetil's holy height they name, whereon are built the timeless halls of Manwe Sulimo. Who calls these names in witness may not break his oath, though earth and heaven shake. Curufin, Celegorm the fair, both Amrad and Amras were there. Caranthir dark and Maedhros tall, whom after torment should befall, and Maglor the mighty, who like the sea with deep voice sings yet mournfully. Be he friend or foe or seed defiled of Morgoth Bauglir, or mortal child that in after days on earth shall dwell, no law, nor love, nor league of hell, not might of Valar, not moveless fate, shall him defend from wrath and hate of Fëanor's sons, who takes or steals, or finding keeps the Silmarils, the thrice-enchanted globes of light that shine until the final night. The Noldor's wars and wandering, this tale tells not, though some still sing, how they fought and labored in the north. Fingon, daring alone, went forth and sought for Maedhros where he hung. In torment terrible he swung, his wrist in band of forged steel, from a sheer precipice where reel the dizzy senses, staring down from Thangorodrim's stony crown. The song of Fingon elves yet sing, captain of armies, Noldoran king, who fell at last in flame of swords with his white banners and his lords. They sing how Maedhros free he set, and stayed the feud that slumbered yet with children proud of Fingolfin. Now joined once more they hemmed him in, even great Morgoth and their hosts beleaguered Angband, till they boast no orc nor demon ever dare their leaguer break or past them fare. Then days of solace woke on earth, beneath a new-lit sun, and mirth was heard in the great lands where men, a young race, spread and wandered then. That was the time that songs do call the siege of Angband, when like a wall the Noldor's swords did fence the earth from Morgoth's ruin, a time of birth, of blossoming, of flowers, of growth. But still there held the deathless oath, and still the Silmarils were deep in Angband's darkly dolven keep. An end there came when fortune turned, and flames of Morgoth's vengeance burned, and all the might which he prepared in secret in his fastness flared and poured across the thirsty plain, and armies black were in its train. The leaguer of Angband Morgoth broke, His enemies in fire and smoke were scattered, and the orcs there slew and slew until the blood like dew dripped from each cruel and crooked blade. Then Barahir the Bold did aid, with mighty spear, with shield and men, Felagun wounded. To the fen, escaping, there they bound their troth, and Felagun deeply swore an oath of friendship to his kin and seed, of love and succor in time of need. Of Finarfin's sons, those four, were Angrod slain and proud Ignor. Felagund and Orodreth then gathered the remnant of their men, their maidens and their children fair. Forsaking war, they made their lair and cavernous hold far in the south. On Narog's towering bank its mouth was opened, which they hid and veiled. And mighty doors that unassailed till Turin's day stood vast and grim, they build by trees o'ershadowed dim. And with them dwelt a long time there Curufin and Celagorm the fair, and a mighty folk lived neath their hands in Narog's secret halls and lands. Thus Felagund and Nargothrond still reigned, a hidden king whose bond was sworn to Barahir the Bold. And now his son through forests cold wandered alone as in a dream. Escaduin's dark and shrouded stream he followed, till its waters frore were joined to Sirion hoar, pale silver water wide and free, rolling in splendor to the sea. Now Beren came unto the pools, wide shallow meres, where Sirion cools his gathered tide beneath the stars, ere chafed and sundered by the bars of reedy banks, a mighty fen he feeds and drenches, plunging then into vast chasms underground, where many miles his way is wound. Eilin Uyal, twilight mirrors, those great wide waters, gray as tears the elves then named. Through driving rain, from thence across the guarded plain, the hills of hunters Beren saw, with bare tops bitten bleak and raw by western winds. But in the mist of streaming rains that flashed and hissed into the meres, he knew there lay, beneath those hills, the cloven way of Narog, and the watchful halls of Felagund beside the falls of Ringwill, tumbling from the wold. An everlasting watch they hold, the Noldor of Nargothrond renowned, and every hill is tower crowned, where wardens sleepless peer and gaze, guarding the plain in all the ways between Narog swift and Sirion pale, and archers whose arrows never fail. There range the woods and secret kill all who creep thither against their will. Wow. I want to go back to the Oath of Fëanor as written here early on in the reading. Be he friend or foe, or seed defiled of Morgoth Bauglir, or mortal child that in after days on earth shall dwell, no law, nor love, nor league of hell, not might of Valar, nor moveless fate shall him defend from wrath and hate of Fëanor's sons, who takes or steals or finding keeps the Silmarils, the thrice enchanted globes of light that shine until the final night. This tragic vow, or as Tolkien referred to it in letter number 131 to Milton Waldman, a terrible and blasphemous oath of enmity and vengeance, would lead to the rebellion of the Noldor and their exile from Valinor. It would lead to the kinslayings, and it would lead to nothing but death for Fëanor and his sons. But it also gave us moments like Barahir rescuing King Finrod Felagund during the Dagor Bragalach, the Battle of Sudden Flame near the fen of Serech. And that bravery was rewarded with the ring that Finrod gave him, a ring that Aragorn would wear thousands of years later, and the ring that Beren now carries as he enters Finrod's realm. And that is it for today's First Age Friday. It was a long reading, but come back next time as Beren wisely displays that ring and it saves his life. Now, I'll be getting back to Fandom Friday's next series, so if you'd like to join me on the show or you know somebody who does, please email barliman@theprancingponypodcast.com and let us know. And please visit patreon.com/Tolkien Times to learn how you can support the show, get an ad-free RSS feed, a monthly hangout with me, a bonus weekly episode, and more. And join me again tomorrow on today's Tolkien Times as we wrap up this week with Second Age Saturday. If you're watching this on YouTube, you know the drill. Like and subscribe. And please follow or subscribe in your podcast apps and follow @Tolkien Times on social media. Finally, as Faramir says, go with the goodwill of all good men.